Oh, please. I have no soul.
Thank you, Agent K. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Love it.
Turn it up, yeah. Turn it up, yeah. Turn it
Classic.
up, yeah. Turn it up, yeah.
So catchy.
Oh, I'm touching myself tonight.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
What?
Stream just got shut down for a moment. Yeah.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Let's do that again. Thank you for telling me I am muted. I'm not muted on Zoom, so they didn't know. The people here didn't know. But you can hear me now. So welcome on in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Just again, real quick, the Tangia Dungeons are on. Feel free to interact. We are in the middle of a hype train. We just completed level 1, which is why I ate all the spicy chips. And my face is melting off and all of that. We are playing Call of Cthulhu tabletop RPG. It is a 1920s horror theme RPG, and all of the things in the game might cause trigger warnings. So if you have issues with drug references, alcohol, violence, that kind of stuff, just as an FYI, that kind of stuff happens in Call of Cthulhu. Of course, the deep, dark, ancient ones also exist as we all slowly die or go into insanity. Those are our options in Call of Cthulhu. So welcome on in. There are channel points for you to redeem as well. They're unique channel points only to our Call of Cthulhu games. Our Call of Cthulhu games are just based on when we have time to fit them into our schedule. We do them. So we got it now, and then in 2 weeks we'll do a follow-up to this game as well. So you can cause players bad luck, you can give the game master extra dice, and you can give the players extra skill dice. Yes, as you understand, that's 2 out of 3 go to the GM and hinder the players, which was intentional. So with that
Call of
being said,
Cthulhu is a game of survival.
it's a game of survival, which none of us will ever do. So with that being said, I'm going to let Rachel take on over, and I will personally cease of the lip flapping, as they like to say in Palea. So,
All
go
right.
ahead, Rachel. It's all you, all on you.
All on me. No pressure.
And thank you for the
Um,
hype train, guys. I'm gonna have one more spicy, whatever these are.
I know I have to avoid like spending bits and actually run the game. So, in our previous games, we've had 2 games prior to this one. Our game started out in a somber tone at David's funeral because not everybody survives in the world of Call of Cthulhu. David died a heroic death in our previous adventure, None Darker Than Black. And our characters gathered with members of David's family, friends, and others from the magic community um, to honor his life. At David's funeral, it was discovered that Ingrid Swartz, the daughter of Memphis the Great, sent David a letter prior to his death asking for help with finding her father. Unfortunately, David never got the letter, but it was found in the rest of his belongings. She attends the funeral, connects with William and Betsy about her current situation. Her father has been gone for 2 months, and while it's not completely out of the norm for him to go off, as he is an eccentric magician that is often traveling the world to find new tricks and new things to add into his show, she is now starting to grow concerned. Worse than that, however, is 3 dead bodies, were found in her father's home, and they were all 3 killed in horrific ways. The police have investigated, but their investigation was very short, just to sort of tidy up loose ends. The bodies were of 3 burglars that had broken into the house, and the police came to the conclusion that the 3 had killed each other, which, upon further investigation in the ways that they died, seems very unlikely. Ingrid and her attorneys have hired the investigators to look further into this, see if there was perhaps a 4th person, try to find a better explanation for how these 3 have passed, and then see what they were trying to find. In the midst of this, Ronnie, Betsy, and William have been going through David's things. They found a singing severed head that Ronnie disposed of. They also found some books and other paperworks containing weird magic like spells that they're not very familiar with. And Ronnie found a key to what he assumes is another building apartment, but no additional address or information. Last game, the party went to see the lawyers to speak to the groundskeeper, Mason, an older man who found the initial bodies when he came in to work on the property. He was the one that called the police, and the investigation started from there. He is another person that definitely doesn't believe that the 3 people killed each other. He thinks a 4th person was perhaps there. He also confirmed that neither him or the housekeeper have seen Memphis in a couple of months, but he isn't too alarmed, as the magician does like to travel a lot. From there, they went to the police station, where they met with an officer that was surprisingly helpful, as he wasn't in full agreement with his superiors closing down the case so early. He did provide crime scene photos, information that the weapons that were used to kill these assailants were actually back at the home because they were stage props. And he also gave them a tip to speak with Vaughn, who was a local crime lord at the Clamp, which was a speakeasy. Vaughn confirmed that the burglars were known as the Leary brothers, who were new. They kind of dabbled in crimes, but kind of were new to doing burglaries, and confirmed that the brothers were very close knit and would not have killed each other. Chris and Melissa did autopsies with the local coroner to confirm times of death and that they were actually killed with the prop weapons. And lastly, William went to the library. Oh, sorry, Betsy was there too. William went to the library and found 3 articles about Memphis's trip to Bhutan and gave more background information about the magician. He also got information on Memphis's assistant, Josephine Lynch, on where she currently lives. So after all this, the group has gathered together and has shared information of what they found. They were given tickets to a magic show that Ingrid's fiance, Harold, is performing at this evening. Max, another magician, got these tickets because he wanted to see if Melissa and Chris could figure out one of Harold's magic tricks that he believes is impossible for normal stage magic to actually succeed at. And since Chris and Melissa are scientists, perhaps they can figure out how Harold does the trick. So the group decided that before going to the magic show this evening that they wanted to go to the scene of the crime to investigate the house. And so everybody gets in the back of Betsy and William's truck from Ye Olde Magic Shop and makes their way towards a little bit out of Arkham, but not so far out, kind of like the 1920s equivalent of a higher end suburb. The Swartz house is kind of up on a hill, and it's a little bit of a wooded area. There are bigger and nicer houses here, but the view gives you, as you're driving up, the entire view of Arkham. So it is very nice view of the city, and you'd think, especially with the city lights that are starting to pop up there, that would be a very nice view at night. And as you arrive, you see that the residence is hidden behind pines and maples on its own grounds. You go up the long driveway. It's an older home. It's about late 1800s construction in a shingle style. The back wall of the property faces a vacant lot. So there's just trees and forest behind there. So while there are other houses near, it's mostly secluded. But you don't see, as you drive up to like the front of the driveway, you don't see any other cars there out. Doesn't look like anybody's been at the house recently. And the attorneys did give you an extra set of keys.
Okay.
So, do you guys want to approach the front door first?
Can we face the perimeter and just kind of take a look at the outlying area maybe first?
Sure. Are you guys all going together?
I think so. I think that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Sure. So no check needed as you guys get to the back. I mean, there's nothing really out of the ordinary, but as you do get to the back, you can find 3 sets of footprints in the dirt. leading from the wall towards the rear of the house, but you don't see any footprints return. So you see footprints coming to the house, but not leaving.
How high is the wall?
Not
Is
probably
it
like
like it's
normal.
like an iron rod fence, or it's like a concrete wall?
It would be like an iron rod fence. So it's
Okay, so
normal
we can
6 feet.
see through it.
Yeah. Um, and there's not, the only other thing that really stands out to you is that there is a window near the rear veranda that is boarded up. So, and that's where the footprints lead to.
It broke in.
Yeah, so that's kind of where you assume you broke in. And there is other, like, the 3 sets of footprints stand out to you because I probably should have had you do a roll, but there are other footprints, obviously from the police and everything, and they're kind of more scattered. These ones are more direct from the woods over the gate towards that window, and they're older.
Should we start with the room that they broke into?
I think that'd be good.
Anybody draw?
I've got my camera.
Oh yeah. Would you be able to take some pictures of the shoe prints?
Yeah, sure. So I'd take my camera and take some pictures.
Yeah. And again, no roll needed.
Do you want my photography role to be like when I take pictures, if I'm taking a difficult shot or if I'm developing photos? I don't know when to roll it.
I would say if you're taking a difficult shot,
Okay, like catching
like,
a monster charging at me?
yeah, or like, yeah, like I don't think the footprints aren't moving
Yeah.
and it's daylight. If it was dark out, sure. Or if you were specifically trying to be like artsy about it and get like the light at the right angle or like do a photo shoot, sure.
No, I'm just trying to get a clear picture.
Yeah. I figure at this point
If you're
it's
taking
either
a picture of
best
Bigfoot, you're at a -30. So
either right. Um
always blurry.
so yeah, Stanley's taking pictures. What about the rest of you?
How are the windows all locked?
Like
how hard is it to break in?
So for this break-in, they broke through glass.
So they actually just broke the glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, they're newer at this, so it was probably like either crowbar or brick through the window. If you go to tug on the window, like it is locked from the inside.
Okay.
And then you can tell that it is at least a
The win-
2-story house.
The window's still broken?
Yeah, it just has a board over it.
Oh, okay.
So pretty much they just did the board and nails
Okay.
situation.
Is the area behind the fence line like wooded?
Yeah, it's wooded to a point, and then it probably leads into somebody else's yard because it is kind of an affluent suburb.
I think we
So-
also learned last time that there's wood past that vacant lot, there's a road that they could have come in on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. If they came and never left, how did they get here? Did they walk through town and walk all the way here? We should go and see if there's a vehicle there waiting for them that they parked somewhere.
Yeah, do we want to do that before we go into the house?
Or we could split the party and
How
have
much
some of us
time
go
do we
track.
have?
So right now it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you were kind of you had your meeting early in the morning, and then they had the autopsy over lunchtime where you had egg sandwiches. So figure you gathered between about like 1 o'clock, had until 1:30 to discuss, and then by the time you got up here, it's about 2 o'clock. The magic show tonight starts at about 7 or at 7. So kind of just depending on like how much time you want to take getting ready, or like if anybody needs to pick anybody up. Because you were offered 10 tickets, so you can bring, like, I think Stanley's bringing Daisy.
Probably want to
Did
leave
it-
like an hour before the show.
Mhm.
Probably.
And didn't the police look for a car already?
They did, and they didn't find one, so they think that either they were dropped off or that they probably walked.
Okay.
So,
Sounds
and
good.
more than likely, like, because they've kind of dipped their toes into like the criminal world and they're kind of known, it wouldn't be, they could have paid somebody off to drop them off.
Yeah, like we did earlier, take a cab.
Right, right. Like criminal underlord cab. Because especially in the 1920s, like not very many people have cars. So that's probably just one way somebody can make money, is to be a getaway.
Gotcha.
Well, I have no qualms exploring both if you think that going and following those tracks through the woods will reveal anything.
Yeah, I'm fine splitting up as well. I would prefer to stay at the house.
I'd also like to go through the house so I can take, and he holds up his camera, pictures.
Yeah, I don't. The police found already looked. They already looked. They probably would have seen it. So.
Yeah, I think the house is probably the best place. If we have time, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Afterwards, we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, like there's no expectation that you can't, I mean, as far as everybody's aware, there's no expectation that you can't come back tomorrow
Right.
too. Like it's not something that you have to,
Unless
there's
it rains and there's no
nothing-
more footprints.
right. So either way, if you decide to go into the woods or if you decide to do the house, like,
All right, who has the key? Let's go in.
I think William probably has the key.
I think William has
I've
it,
got
yeah.
the key. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I unlock it and allow us to go in.
so let me move all of you. All right. Does everybody see the Memphis house floor plan?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ah,
this is where I'm trying out new technology. Well, it's not really new technology. It's Rachel doesn't know Roll20 that much. So this is where you're entering. And this is kind of
Where's the
here.
broken window?
The broken window, it would be on this side of the house.
Okay, I think we're gonna go through the back, unless the key only works in the front.
Let me double check because I blocked out stuff on the map.
and we could still try and could still try and go in through the back.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that that's actually. Yeah, I don't see a reason. I don't know what this one little room is, but
I mean, I'm willing to bet that my dad can pick locks. And I know I probably can too, because, magicians need to know how to do that.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
it's a magician's house, so.
Right. I think it's the groundskeeper's keys, so he would, it is the prop room. Do a luck roll to see if the key works for the back and the front.
Am I making the luck roll?
Yeah. Failure. Okay. The key only works for you only have the key to the front door.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because this is a prop room. So like for the magician, like he would probably have this room heavily locked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Magician doesn't want anyone to break in and see their secrets.
Right.
So
And
I respect that.
Which means it's probably going to be locked inside as well, right?
well, potentially, but the police were there for investigating the crime scene.
Oh.
Chris will just climb through the window. I mean, it's a broken window.
It's boarded up.
They boarded it up.
Yeah.
I take off the boards. She's
Okay.
climbed into funky places before.
Make
They're
a strength check with a penalty die.
How do I add a penalty die?
Basically, you roll with disadvantage.
So roll twice, take the worst.
Yeah. Okay.
So I succeeded instead of a hard success.
Okay. So it takes you time. But you start pulling. Well, what tool are you using to take off the board? Do you have a crowbar?
Yes, I do, in fact.
Okay. So you start using the crowbar to start taking the board off the window.
Might as well.
That'll take you a little bit of time.
I'm just gonna follow William through the front door.
Someone has been granted bad luck.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
Oh no.
Who's that for?
It says for Chris.
Oh.
Oh
Okay.
no. Well, we'll see how this goes.
I am gonna stick with Chris because I'm assuming I probably have my first aid kit with me, and the person climbing through a broken window might need a bandage or two if shit goes south.
Yeah. So
It's a good call.
let's see. How tall are you, Chris? Does it say on your sheet?
Let me check. I don't think it does.
Okay.
She's not very tall. I mean, she's a geology professor. She's used to squeezing through tight spaces, so she's only taking off enough boards to get herself through.
To shimmy through. So you're basically going to be taking off the nails at the bottom so that you can pull it up and shimmy through.
Yep.
Okay. So with your bad luck roll, you're able to, like, you're a cave diver. I'm not. Maybe make a climb check.
Sure.
Just to see how well.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well,
So
You're gonna need that bandage.
Yeah. So
a first aid kit too.
Like, you're able to get the plank off, and that gives you confidence. And you're able to make like a lip, and you lift it up, and you shimmy in there, and like your initial grip on the window is good, and you test it out a little bit first.
Yeah.
Right? And it's good, and you pull yourself up, but there's two things you don't take into account for. The first is that these are double pane windows. So as you're getting over, like, you picked clear glass on the first pane, but then as you're shimmying forward, your not elbows, but forearms hit glass, and it is excruciating.
Awesome.
And you're you're kind of stuck where like it's gonna suck if you go in or out. So you kind of shove yourself forward, and instead of doing like the cool like land on your feet backflip, you kind of just scrape and tumble and land on your back.
Yeah, just flat on my back, like
Flat on your back. And we are gonna do. I'm gonna do a die 3 damage.
Oh no!
So 3 damage.
Okay.
So, I guess I didn't wait for everybody that was out there, but Betsy, you witnessed this.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anybody else staying with Chris?
I think either I was going to try and go in the back door if my dad wanted to try and open it anyhow, or we'd just go through the front door with the key. But if this is where the crime scene is, we're already here, and if it's just as quick to jimmy the lock as it would be to walk around the mansion.
Yeah.
Well, your dad's already walked to the front with Stanley.
Oh, well then I'd just try and do it myself.
Yeah.
Because if I can get in there before everybody else, then that's just, you know.
And Melissa, how about you? And if you guys want, William already put himself on the map screen. If you want to you can drag your tokens.
Oh, we have tokens?
Yes.
Yeah, I would just go to the front.
I think everybody has token.
Okay.
And then so go ahead and make a lock picking. I'm gonna say to make it with a penalty die just because no, not make it but the penalty die. You need a hard or extreme success.
Nope. I just fail. Regular old fail.
Yeah. So it's more complicated of a lock than you're used to. But you haven't broken any of your tools or anything.
Okay.
You could try again, or you could see if Chris can figure out how to open.
I'll try one more time, and if that fails, then I'll go around.
Okay. Let's see.
Just a regular success, so not a hard success.
So you're able to unlock it, but it will take you some time.
Okay.
To do so.
Yeah, if I'm still able to unlock it, I'll take the time.
Sure.
If nothing else, it's a thing.
It's unlocked now.
It's unlocked and it's practice.
Yep.
I don't do this much anymore.
Let's go. I'm thinking while all that's happening, unless Betsy wants to do something specific other than just watch.
Betsy's gonna be looking through the window at Chris and be like, you're bleeding all over the place.
I'm not bleeding all over the place yet. It's all on me. It's fine.
Put your arms through the open window. Let me at least wrap them up and try to get the glass shards out of it.
I can do that. You just come in through some
through the what? The locked door or the cutty window?
One of the doors. As Chris is saying this, she's pulling her first aid kit out of her bag.
Okay.
And wrapping up her arm and making sure that she's not, contaminating the house.
Yeah. You probably do need help because you probably have little bits of glass.
She's not too worried about getting all the glass out right now.
Okay.
It can come out later.
Okay.
It's just glass.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Betsy is going to be looking through the window as long as she can see Chris and be like, you, there'll be tweezers. Yep, in that little pouch in that first aid kit. Yep, pull those out. Nope. You really want to get the glass. Don't wrap the gauze around. You're just going to push it in. Nope. Pull the glass out. Ah,
I got a hard success on my first aid check. I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
So you're not taking the glass out, you're wrapping up the bandage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the big chunks out, but if
Okay.
there are little pieces, it's
Sure. Yeah, you're able to say like take out the big pieces of glass and you're able to wrap the bandage. You do have some disinfectant probably in that case, that first aid kit that you did put on there, and kind of because you had a hard success, like bandage is really good. You actually got like some smaller pieces of glass that fortunately just came out with the bigger pieces.
sweet.
You do kind of know that you probably should get it looked at for sure to get all the little bits out.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that there's no other infection.
Sure.
And you fortunately have gotten your shots
Yes.
for what they have available at the time.
Yes.
All right. So at the front door.
That was a lot of fumbling in the back.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So while Chris is bandaging herself and Ronnie is working on the lock, William, you go to the front door and you put in the key and you open up the house.
Yep.
And
knowing that I'm a lovable 66-year-old man and that the gentleman standing behind me is known to look a bit more brawlery-ish, I will genteelly step aside and offer Andrew's character to go first if he would like.
Thank you, sir. I will enter in.
okay. So go ahead and move yourself.
I'm blocked.
Oh. No. Did you get in?
No, I'm blocked.
Are there
Open
walls
the
in
door.
this?
Yeah, I'm like,
you might be able to just pull him through, Rachel.
let me
You
see
should
if
look
I
at
the
your
GM.
lighting layer. Your dynamic lighting layer.
There's dynamic lighting?
For walls, you use dynamic lighting to build the walls. So
Apparently, but we
Oh.
can see through all the wall. I can see through all the walls.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah, I can see the whole map.
yeah, there's a wall.
I don't know if I'm supposed to or not.
Let me just I'm deleting all the walls real quick.
I mean, you can just move us in or delete the ones by the doors.
Yeah, that's what I'm just doing is I'm deleting the ones by all the doors. And
who's the cloaked figure miniature?
The spooky one?
Yeah,
oh, that might be Melissa.
that's
Yeah.
That's a creepy picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you all should be able to move, at least on this floor. When we get to the next floor, I'll delete the doors there. So let me pull up the description. First floor. And I'm going to also take out, since Chris is in this room and I forgot to do that. So I blocked out the labels of the rooms, so as we're exploring, I'll reveal them. So the rotunda is at the entrance right here. This is an airy circular space that rises to the height of the house. to a skylight set in the roof. A spiral staircase runs around its perimeter. Between the first and second floor, there are portraits of the Schwartz family that decorate the walls. There are also images of Memphis the Great with his daughter Ingrid, and one of him posing with a younger Harold Hawkins. And because I don't believe I've shared photos of them in prior games.
We have Ingrid,
Yeah.
but not Harold. Or Memphis, I don't think.
Yep. So here's Memphis. That pop up for everybody. Yes, this art is fantastic.
Goofy.
And Harold.
Why does it give them such goofy expressions?
This
I don't
guy's
know,
like
but
he's half asleep and wasted.
Yeah, he's very handsome though.
Yeah, I can tell.
He's a very handsome man.
Sure.
He has the tallest head.
Yep.
I feel like the artist was maybe moved over from doing Dick Tracy to start doing these ones.
Let's see more about the rotunda. You also see, if you take time to look up between the up above the first floor, there's the second floor with the rotunda, and as it goes around, there's posters of Memphis, advertising posters for his magic shows in his Egyptian styled regalia. And then you do see a lot of these posters also feature different assistants that he's had in the past. But if you walk up the stairs, you'll be able to get a better view.
I think we should stay focused. Let's head back towards the prop room.
Okay.
We can look at the room between here and there. But we should look and see if we can find anything where all that stuff happened.
Sure. So
and we think the prop room is this room?
I think it's the back of the house.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the sound where all the fumbling and crashing and bickering is coming from.
Speaking of, if my first aid gets done before they get to that back door, like the door to that room, I would like to open it because that was the whole point of going through the window.
There's no way, right? In the
Yeah.
time we walk around the house,
mean-
open the door and walk through the house, that she's patched herself up, broken in. Well, maybe. I don't know.
I think it probably you probably finish wrapping up your arms and everything about the same time they get to the back door. Unless it kind of depends. So as you keep walking through, this is the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it looks like the kitchen here and the style of home it's a central hub with a small table for informal meals. So it's largely unremarkable. There's not any food or anything that looks like the housekeeper or cook already disposed of any food that was likely to spoil. But yeah, other than that, there's not really.
Is there a label that's supposed to be there? I don't see anything. It's just an empty room.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to say kitchen.
Your labels might be on the GM layer.
You know, right click
Well,
right click them and send to whatever layer you want.
Let's see. Would that work?
No.
Let me do. How about that?
Oh, something.
So all those things disappeared, but there's no labels to rooms.
Oh. Okay. Well, then I'm not going to worry about hiding them or not hiding them.
Yeah.
Is there a label to the rotunda?
There's no labels anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No. Yeah, no.
Well, I'll just ping then. So this is the kitchen. Rotunda.
Yeah.
And then this is the prop room.
Did that work? I just typed in kitchen.
Yeah.
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 So let me share this handout with you guys.
Someone has been granted bad luck.
Uh-oh.
Ronnie's got some bad luck.
Steven the
Steven!
Steven the shark.
Steven the shark. Welcome in, Steven. Thank you for the bad luck. And hello, Death Joker. Thank you for the work lurk.
So this handout here, let's see. I think you see a player map where it says the Memphis house.
Yes.
Yep.
I think you should be able to edit that handout. If not, let me know.
No.
I'll put it here. Okay, now
The
try.
keeper has been given extra dice. Nice. Extra dice for the GM.
Wow, Steven.
Steven!
You actually did something nice for me.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
The keeper has been given extra dice. Again.
Whoa.
Look
He
at all
really
the
wants-
extra dice.
I'll snap a picture of the kitchen, but like just one wide shot as from wherever I can. It really doesn't seem like there's much in the kitchen, I think,
Yeah.
that I'm concerned with.
It's the GM I love, not the person. Wow.
Well, and we can always come back tomorrow and do a thorough search of the rest of the house.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So go ahead. So as you're walking, this is a cloakroom, basically a closet.
Okay.
There does seem right here to be a door. And then there's a door here that's shut.
Both
And you
of
can
them are shut.
Yep. And you can hear movement in this room.
Do I hear whinging?
Hear what?
Oh, whining.
Oh, whining.
So rude.
Bickering.
Yeah, you probably hear a conversation, then you hear like a very heavy lock unlock as Ronnie. This is about the time that you get the door unlocked too.
Someone has been granted bad luck. To the other
Oh.
player I actually know.
Oh, man.
Oh man. Well, this works out.
Why, do you want me to roll something?
No, but kind of like as both you and Ronnie.
Can we both open the door at the same time and break each other's noses?
No.
Smack, smack! Oh, damn it!
I have a
But-
concussion for my next match.
You do, like, Ronnie, you get the door unlocked and you open it and you start to go through and you oddly feel lightheaded. Kind of like you've had, like, Ronnie's drank before, right? I'm assuming
Yeah,
because he's
yeah,
a
Ronnie
gambler.
drinks.
Or he's been.
Drinks and
So-
smokes, probably.
Yeah. So, like, it's kind of like you have like the happy buzz and then you have like the like, oh, this might be going downhill kind of lightheaded buzz where you might want to lay down.
Okay.
It's kind of like that and you feel a little bit foggy.
Like I got up too fast sort of situation?
Yeah. But you haven't had anything to drink today.
Okay.
And so it's almost kind of like a little bit of vertigo.
Okay.
And it's just really weird. And so that happens to you just as you're kind of walking through the door and you kind of like oddly stumble forward and kind of hit your shoulder into the wall.
Okay.
And at the same time, Stanley, you also feel this dizzy sensation too. It was kind of something that you maybe, now that you think about it, you started to feel as you walk through the rotunda into the kitchen, but you've taken a punch many times in the head before, so it
Someone's been given extra skill dice.
didn't really register with you. And then when you go to push open the prop room door, you also have that same sensation. And you actually feel like it's kind of like somebody like hit you in the right spot in your head, and you lose your balance and you stumble through the door.
Someone's been
and
given extra skill
into
dice.
into
Both
Chris.
Betsy and William get an extra skill dice.
So I get bad luck, but they get skill dice. Steven!
I got bad luck too. I got bad luck too. He hinders the ones he loves.
So yeah, Stanley, you stumble forward, and you, because Chris is there, you stumble into Chris just as she's finished bandaging herself up.
I probably try to not fall on her.
I will try to catch him.
Yeah. You kind of, just because I'm Wellesley and I don't know if I watch anime, it's kind of ends up being like there's a prop right behind Chris. That's the prop where you see in magician shows where you have the assistant in like this tower of boxes, and then you're able to move the boxes and it looks like her body parts are moving. And like as Stanley stumbles forward, it's the whole, he puts his arm up next to Chris's head and like leans forward in a very like almost anime romantic-y area, but there's no romantic feelings involved between the two characters, so it's just awkward.
Awesome.
Sorry. This room gave me the heebie-jeebies. Can you move me in?
There.
Yep. I'm assuming, Melissa, you want to go in there too?
Yes, I was just following along behind Stanley.
Your arm.
It's fine. It's fine. The window, it was still sharper than I expected. It's fine. I'll be fine.
Right.
I promise.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's see. William, if you're not able to get in, I can move you.
Yeah, it's kind of stopping me at the door there. There we go.
So I will describe the prop room. Let's see. So, this is where the murders happen. It's a storage and working area for Memphis the Great stage apparatus. So the room is filled with magic tricks, boxes containing more magic tricks.
The keeper has been given extra dice.
Whoa.
It's like your third extra dice you
I
get.
know.
Oop, oop.
Like, I'm just a house right now. Various paraphernalia can be found, including links of velvet fabric, oversized playing cards, coils of rope, bundles of silk, handkerchiefs, assorted magical apparatus. Obviously, the bodies have been removed. The blood is mostly cleaned up. There are still stains from where, for sure, the one person was slowly dismembered and where there's blood stains in the wall, where the person was stabbed multiple times. So the room does contain the murder weapons, and they're pretty much all stacked here. You can tell that they're the murder weapons because they still have like the police tags on them that say evidence. So the first is the sword box. So normally the sword blocks is the assistant is placed in there and then the blades are thrust through and the victim emerges mysteriously unharmed. In this apparatus, there's 5 swords. These 5 swords were used to skewer the first of the Leary brothers, several passing all the way through his torso to pin him to the wall. And the holes are still clearly visible in the plasterwork, stained with blood. The second piece of equipment is a pot and rope used for the Indian rope trick. The second Leary brother was hanged by the rope. His feet were kicking, well, you don't really know that, hanging over the pot as he was dragged into the air. The rope was tied to the room's central chandelier, which you have that from the crime scene photos. So there's a chandelier in this room. The third brother met his end with an item called the wrist chopper. This device is a hand-operated guillotine blade. In the stage act, it's shown to slice vegetables, and then a volunteer's wrist is locked in place. And then with much fanfare, the blade is dropped again, only for it to seemingly pass through the participant's wrist, leaving them unharmed, thanks to a hinge section of the blade, which moves up and out of the way. The last Leary brother wasn't so lucky, and the process was repeated again and again on his remaining extremities. You guys can try to, oh, and the box that I was describing is called the zigzag girl too.
Well,
So.
I guess I'm gonna start taking pictures of things.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 props, the locations of bloodstains.
May I as odd as this may sound, considering everything that is going on, but it just it breaks every code that there is to take pictures of a magician's workshop.
But people were killed here.
Yes, don't worry, dear. I don't think Stanley would sell those pictures to I don't know. Who's one of yours and his contemporaries? These are going to help us figure out who committed the crime, not steal with them.
I know, but it's a very fine line. Can I tell you what? Let me do this. How about let me take a look around. Just to make sure that there's no, I guess, trade secrets being exposed. How about that?
Betsy just nods.
Okay.
Ronnie just rolls his eyes.
I think Stanley just kind of like looks past Wilcox and catches Ronnie's reaction, looking past Betsy. And he just sort of folds his camera up and waits for William to do his thing.
Thank you, Stanley.
If while this is happening, and I know Chris is on mute right now, but I could see us over, like, with the swords and the props going, okay, so the tensile strength of the rope does seem to be consistent with the ligature marks on the neck of brother number 2. I don't...
Absolutely, this is
like the steel of the swords, like, doesn't seem like it would go into the plaster and a body without somehow cracking or breaking, and so I'm surprised that this went on as smoothly as possible and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Kind of, I would say William, if you want to make a I'll give you a choice between spot hidden or the magician role.
The stage
Magician.
magic?
Yeah. To
Someone
see if
has been granted bad luck.
who's
Oh,
this person? Ronnie.
Another bad luck. He
well,
loves
so
me. He loves me
here's the
twice as much
deal.
as Stanley, apparently.
My spot hidden admittedly is higher than my stage magic,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of see this being more of a stage magic thing in the sense of as much as William does not want to think about the weird shit that has happened involving his son, um his brain is already on the process of someone broke in here and did these murders, must be to maybe run away with trade secrets or something. At least that's his rationalization of it.
Yeah. Well, and that makes logical sense. That's kind of what they're suspecting is the reason why the
Um,
And
people
remember, you
broke
have
in.
advantage if you want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think I'll roll the stage magic just because that seems to make more sense to me.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh. Okay.
Damn.
And you're basically looking to make sure that there's no like obvious trade secrets standing out here.
Obvious trade secrets standing out, but also to see if maybe there was evidence that he was working on some sort of special new trick or something too.
Okay.
Because even me being the kind of the magic shop owner regular and helping all these various magicians with different
Stop.
tasks, I'm sure they kept stuff from me, which
Mm-hmm.
is part of the
The gig.
job, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, not
Someone
not as a
has been
disrespectful
granted
thing,
bad
but
luck.
uh-oh.
And now we're tied. He loves us both equally, Stanley.
Oh
Wow.
gosh. Okay.
So yeah, I guess that's my mindset as far as what
Yeah.
I was trying to look for or not
Sure.
look for or what have you.
So you take a moment to go around the room and as people are discussing and searching, as long as everything is it looks like everything is set in their like at rest or display settings.
Sure.
So as long as like the guillotine isn't like you're not pressing the mechanism to be like, hey, here's where the hidden blade is. And
Gotcha.
from like the zigzag girl, the Indian rope trick and the sword box, they're
Okay.
all pretty like uh there's not anything super unique about them.
Okay.
Maybe they're slightly different in the way that different magicians use them, but they're pretty standard fare.
Sure.
What does catch your attention is that Memphis is um very forward thinking
Yeah.
and is continuously coming up with new stuff. And the stuff in this prop room isn't anything really new and isn't the stuff that
Um,
you like. Some of it you've seen used in his shows, but
sure.
like this stuff is like pre-show, right? To get the audience warmed up. This isn't any of his like big ticket. Like you don't see any like he has like these boxes that are in
Okay.
Egyptian style, like sarcophaguses
Yeah.
that he you haven't seen his show recently, but you've heard people talk that he is able to appear in one and then walk out the other.
Okay.
And you don't see those here. And you've also heard of him doing some orb tricks, and you don't
Okay.
see any of those here. So, like, kind of with the way magicians work is they work a lot in misdirection.
Right.
You're wondering if this prop room
Is the misdirection.
is the misdirection.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So, like, whatever the real secrets are, probably aren't here.
So once I kind of figure that out, I'll be like, clever man, clever man. Understandable. None of the Stanley, thank you for humoring an old man. The props and features in this room, none of them are necessarily new or risque, or new tricks or methods. They're all pretty standard magic tricky fare. That being said, friends, I do believe some of Memphis's more elaborate tricks and developments, I do not see any of them in this room making me think that this room is in and of itself a bit of a misdirect in terms of Memphis's methods and procedures.
Well, we know that this is where the 3 brothers were killed, so at least we can see what we can find related to their untimely demise.
Very well. I would like to. I'm going to take just a quick look around of just the main floor here. Although my guess is, if this is on the main floor, his secrets probably lie on a different level. But still, it's best to cover our bases. And I guess I'll head back into the kitchen and check out some of these other doors.
Sure. While
I'm
you're
gonna
doing
look around. I'm taking pictures, but I'm also looking around to see if there's, like, through the cleaning, any sign of tracks that we can pick, like, put together how the Leary brothers moved into this room, where they were moving. Did they try to leave this room? Did they leave this room?
Sure.
Could I help Stanley with that? I mean, if they left tracks in the dirt and the mud, there should be some tracks on the floor in here to at least tell us kind of like the way they walked around.
Sure. You can both either roll on your own or give the other person an advantage roll.
Would this be track or spot hidden or
track, right?
Yeah, I would say track. Kind of switching over. So Ronnie, when you cross from here to there.
Yeah.
And you walked by, so like the props are over here,
okay.
Right? As you stepped over the prop, you hear a loud ka-chunk as your foot steps right next to where the guillotine blade was. And it doesn't hit you, but as your foot sits there, like somehow the mechanism had like went off. Like either your step like triggered like the reset button
without him touching it.
Someone has been granted bad luck.
Oh, Ronnie, man.
My third one.
And it scares you, and you jump, and you scream a little bit.
Technically, it's my fourth one.
Yeah.
Oh, we already cleared one. Is this a bit? Tell me this is a bad luck going off and not a trap in the room.
Yeah, you don't know.
I go like this. I'm like, I didn't touch anything. That just went off with me standing next to it. Like I hold my hands up in the air.
And Chris, Betsy, and Melissa, you see that he didn't actually touch it. That it just suddenly dropped.
And welcome in, Sunstrider.
Maybe it's faulty.
Could be. I am, I guess, over by Stanley. If I help Stanley for this tracking, will it offset Stanley's minus? Because
Is
Stanley has
bad-
bad luck.
Yeah, I won't have the bad luck apply to this. I'm kind of pocketing it a little bit.
I've got like 3 of them, so
You have 3 bad luck.
I think
Well,
I have 2.
You have 2 left. Yeah, you have 2 left.
You have 2 left. Okay.
You have 2 left, and I have 3,
1 left.
maybe 2. I don't know.
How many have you had?
4,
Okay, you have 2 left.
because I had 1 at the door, and then maybe 1 just went off, and I have another 1 from Steven.
Yeah.
Because me and Stanley were tied, and now Sunstrider gave me 1. So I have.
Oh no, I have 2. 2 from 2 just from Steven.
You have 2
So
left
if this-
from Steven.
If this counted as 1, I'd have 1 left.
Because you had 1 earlier as well from
Yeah.
Steven.
Oh, did I?
You had
had
Steven
3.
gave me 3?
Steven gave you 3,
Gosh, that
and you gave me
asshole.
3. That's why I was saying he likes me better than you, because we had the same amount from Steven.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then,
so I
and
have
then,
2
and
left.
then he tied us.
Yeah.
Here we go.
See, you didn't even need bad luck, but you're getting advantage, right? Because Betsy's
Yep.
helping you, or are you?
Yep, Betsy's helping.
So I roll again?
Yeah, just roll again. There's a way to do the advantage thing on here, but it doesn't
has
really
been
work.
given extra dice.
Oh, another extra dice for the keeper. We're all gonna die.
Whoa!
We're all gonna die.
I don't need bad luck, chat. I already have bad luck. With
That wasn't
roll
bad
20
luck. That
for
was
this
extra
whole
dice for the
adventure.
keeper.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I don't need bad luck. I already have bad luck this whole adventure.
So you guys are both thoroughly looking in the room for tracks, and they must have cleaned up whatever mud there was with the blood, because you're not seeing anything. It's just the stains that they weren't able to get fully out yet.
Someone's been given extra skill dice.
There you go. You got extra still dice from Sunstrider.
I'm gonna use that.
Sure.
Jesus.
You're getting down on your hands and knees and sniffing the carpet, but
I
there's
don't think this is
nothing.
dirt. I think this is poop.
This is poop. One of the Leary brothers shit themselves.
Chris
I mean,
and
they probably
Melissa.
did.
Yeah, that's true.
Can confirm.
And then the bad luck kicks in, and you like slip, and you go tongue first into the.
Into the poop. Yeah, you like the observations, Melissa, that you made about the swords. Like, you can tell that the blades were the same blade, or the same, they met the same dimensions of, insertion into the body.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, it makes logical sense that they are like the same weapons, but while they are sharp, they are stage props. And looking at the holes in the wall, I mean, do either of you have crime scene or
Have what?
like, I feel like we've used like crime scene or forensics? That's what I'm looking for.
I have forensics.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
I do not.
Oh. So
Doing real good, guys.
you can't tell for sure without your lab, but it does seem odd that somebody would be strong enough to put the blades that far deep into the wall. But it's possible. Stanley's pretty strong.
Would I be strong enough to do that?
Let's find out.
Oh, I mean,
I was gonna say something similar.
Yeah.
Like if we take one of the clean blades and push it into the wall.
Here you go. Please try. I would like to find out if you are capable.
I just kind of look to see if William has left.
Yeah, if I can, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't move my token past where it's
Oh.
at right now, but
Yeah. Here.
So
I think I'd probably check like that door and that
I'll
door.
I'll take the
first.
blade if William is gone,
Okay.
and I will try to push it into the wall. I just kind of tested, and it's like, this thing seems like it'd break before I could push it into the wall, but here we go.
That's what we think too. That's why we're asking.
So
Okay.
All right.
you make your now. Are you using one of the swords that killed the body?
I am using whatever they gave me.
Okay.
I would have probably given him not one of the ones that we would take fingerprints off of.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not an
Well,
evidence, but the same style blade, if there's an
Sure.
extra one.
Yeah.
Would the cops have maybe taken the actual swords for evidence and
You'd
left
think
just
so.
the?
They left everything here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
they
remember
brought it back.
Okay.
They just needed it covered up real quick because it didn't matter who actually did the murder. So they're just like, oh, this is what happened. And they made it all up.
I see. Gotcha.
So you take one of the prop swords that's not one of the blades. And Stanley, you don't know shit about stage magic.
Although I have swung a machete around before.
Right. You've swung a machete around. The knife feels kind of odd, but you're like, you don't really think nothing of it. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever. And you go in with all of your might to stab the wall. And when you hit the wall with the knife, it's a retractable blade. So
Probably punch a hole in the
Yeah.
wall.
So instead of stabbing the wall, you punch like a hole. The knife goes in, you punch a
God, I
hole in
hope
the
I
wall,
didn't punch a stud.
and yeah, you punch a stud, and it doesn't like do damage to you, but it hurts like a bitch.
Oh, jeepers creepers!
Stanley, you're. Oh, I go into my bag and pull out some aspirin. Hand one to you.
Oh, good. All right, I'll let you guys think of experiment number 2 as I cut over the William real quick. So this room is a pantry.
Okay.
This room is a bathroom. Water
Okay.
closet.
I'd like to try going into this room.
This room. So you open up that room, and that one. So as you open the door, you realize that it's not just a 1-story room, but it's a 2-story room.
Oh, okay.
And
Going up?
going up. There's
Okay.
no stairs. It's not even a room that is part of the original house design. So you remember when the lawyers were talking to you about how Memphis used to host little stage shows at his home?
Okay.
This is he converted a few rooms of his house into a mini theater.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So this gray area is a stage.
Okay.
Do you want to go inside the room and I can move you in?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check it out.
So this is a stage here. This entire wall here, so you see like chairs stacked up in the corners so that you
Okay.
could like make it like a little theater area and have a performance.
Sure.
This entire room, the walls are mirrors.
Oh,
So this is, I'm kind of giving you this from your last stage magic roll.
sure,
This is where
sure.
you're guessing that he would practice new
rehearse.
tricks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the mirrors were there to let him be able to see all the different angles for his illusions.
Sure. That makes sense. That's
And
clever.
yeah, and then there's a curtain rod with curtains tied up on the corners so that if like you were having a performance and you didn't want the mirrors distracting you from the audience, you could cover
Sure.
up the mirrors.
Gotcha.
So let's see.
I guess are any of the mirrors currently covered?
No, they are not currently covered.
Okay.
Um
And then
eh,
when you said this room is like a kind of a two-story deal, I'm assuming going up into the second story, like an actual
yeah,
like stage
yep. So
vaulted area or whatever.
yeah, like the stage, it's a proper theatrical stage. It occupies probably about 50% of the room's width, and it's raised
Sure.
about 3 feet off the ground with a slight incline towards the audience.
Oh, okay. So gotcha.
Yeah. So, and then there are windows in the back, but again, there's heavy drapes
Sure.
that can be closed off. So, but yeah, if you want, let's see. Yeah, and the audience space has room for about 4 or 5 rows of chairs. Again, they're currently stacked off to the side.
Right.
But if you want, you can explore the room a little bit more, explore the stage.
I think I'd explore the stage because realistically, if he's setting up tricks, any tricks that would involve the manipulation of the stage to do the trick, like the teleporting man or whatever, obviously a lot of the technical functioning of the trick would be hidden underneath the stage for those
Sure.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I'd go in under the stage to take a look.
Okay. Go ahead and make so you can't really get under the stage from here. But make a spot if you can go onto the stage and look for the trapdoor there.
Sure.
And
I
go
will go ahead
ahead,
and do so.
yeah, and do a spot hidden roll. Yeah.
Question.
Yep.
I think I had
The bonus
one.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and use it.
How does that work? Do I just click that bonus thing on there?
You can. I just have people re-roll.
Yeah, it's like advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Okay. That is what you needed. So as you're walking on the stage, you do see that there are 2 working trapdoors.
Okay.
So I'll kind of leave you at that and we'll go back to the rest of the group.
Sure.
So Stanley just punched a hole in the wall. Trying the experiment. Are you guys going to try an experiment number 2?
Yeah, I feel like we should have saw that one coming.
Oh,
Yeah, we
gosh.
really should have. But
I want to inspect the blades that actually killed the people
Yeah,
to see if they also are the collapsible kind.
they are not. They are actual swords.
Okay.
so someone did switch them out.
Yep, or just because it wasn't one of the actual blades you handed him, it was just because there's multiple weapons and stuff in here too.
Yeah.
So Ronnie just like sits down because he's just like, he came in, he wasn't feeling too well, and then he was like stumbling and things are like falling. So now he just like sits down and like lights a cigarette to try and calm his goddamn nerves.
Right.
He's like, I don't know what the hell's going on in here.
All right. So you're smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
and sitting down.
Do we have a way to check for fingerprints?
Unless somebody asks me for something or help or anything, I'm just gonna kind of watch because these guys
Yeah.
seem to know what they're doing.
Do you have any sort of lab kit or like investigator's kit, Melissa or Chris?
I don't.
I have a small case containing various scientific equipment.
What sort of scientist are you?
I had biology, chemistry, forensics.
You do have forensics.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I say
Right.
roll a luck roll to see if you have fingerprint powder.
Before we shove one of these into the wall, I would like to see if there's fingerprints. Look.
And I will give you an extra die. So go ahead and roll it with advantage.
All right.
All right. You do have fingerprint powder. It will just take you a little bit of time to carefully dust these for fingerprints.
Probably only need to do one sword, so if we wanted to experiment on one of the others,
that you could
save some time.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, or Stanley did want to take pictures, so he could use this time to just start taking pictures too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to stab the wall again, Stanley, or do you want to take pictures?
Take pictures.
A little bit safer.
My agent's gonna be pissed at me if I mess up my other hand.
Ronnie.
Yes.
Some of these swords are real and not props. Do you think it'd be worth looking at the other, like the rope stuff or the guillotine stuff, to see if any of them have been replaced with like real items?
Sure. I will go
Like,
and.
Do you know enough magic to be able to do that?
I remember a thing or two. I should be able to tell mostly the difference, but I can look. It's been a long time.
All right. Which one are you going to look at first?
I will look at the rope because I do not want to kill myself.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your stage magic.
Now that we shifted everything around, it's not that good.
It looks like a rope. It's
And I'm like, well, typically rope is just rope. It's just what you're holding on to. Like when you cut it and stuff, you're cutting other pieces of rope. So
right, you're kind of standing there and examining the rope, expecting yourself to have like some sort of expert knowledge about rope, and rope is rope. You don't really. It just looks like any other rope to you. So you kind of just toss it off to the side, or you put it back.
Do I realize that I'm like, rope is rope, or am I like, I look at it, I'm like, if I can't identify the difference between real rope and magic rope, I really shouldn't be doing this.
Well, make an int check or an idea.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like, you kind of realize my extent of knowledge is like doing cheap card tricks to throw off people at the table or like impress a girl.
You know enough to know you don't know enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know how to do stuff, but I don't know, like, I can't identify the tools of the trade anymore.
Sure.
So I get the rope and I'm like, look at it and I'm like, Dad! And I go look out, like, I'll go get my dad. And I go to go find my dad.
Okay. As Ronnie's doing that, I'm going to switch back to William. Unless, Betsy, did you want to do anything?
I can't get through the door.
I think Betsy wants to examine the wall where the people were stabbed.
Okay.
Just to see, because like we know how tall the guys were,
Right.
to see if it looks like someone within their size was able to stab in, or if it was something like bigger or
Sure.
like something like that.
Sure. I would say either make a what you have first aid?
I have first aid and I have medicine.
I'll let you do either a spot hidden or medicine. Just from the like, because you're trying to compare like what the assailant was like built like.
Yeah, I will try spot hidden.
Okay. So when you're looking at the holes in the wall, like the blades went in very deep. And you kind of look at like, even though Stanley didn't like meticulously like stab into the wall, you like he made a decent dent, but the blade goes in deeper than even like the dent that Stanley made. So that's kind of the first thing that catches your eye. The second is that like the first, what did we say? 5. I just want to make sure I don't misspeak. Yeah, 5 swords. So like the first 3 stabs are they're a little bit higher, so they probably come up to like probably like for you like chest, shoulder, and head for the person like stabbing through the blade. You know what I'm saying? But the other 2 stabs, like it would have to be someone maybe Stanley's height. And we're just saying Stanley because he's like the biggest person here. Right?
Yep.
So it'd have to be someone very tall. Like even the last stab, you don't know if even Stanley would be able to reach that high.
Okay. I will just kind of point that out as I'm like talking to myself, but loud enough for others to hear.
Yeah. And without Stanley like actually stabbing the wall, you could like have him reach up to kind of see.
I'll reach my hand up.
Yeah, and even for you, like you can reach up there, but like these are long swords. So you don't really know like how that person like got in the right angle to like stab clean through a body into the wall with that much leverage.
So I'm just gonna kind of look at the items, taking pictures of them.
Okay. As you guys are doing that, and Chris, I'm assuming you're helping Melissa with the fingerprinting?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
William, you're on the stage.
Yeah.
And in the distance, you can hear Ronnie's voice calling out to you saying, "Dad." And you look up, and the room was lit before,
Okay.
but all of a sudden the house lights turn off and the doors are shut and the curtains close
Oh,
and you're alone in this dark room. And kind of like as you're like stunned for a moment trying to get your bearings, suddenly your eyes are assaulted by a bright light. And
Okay.
for you, yeah, you put your hands up and you quickly recognize that you have a spotlight on you. And
Okay.
you kind of get your bearings and your son's voice fades away and instead you can hear the sounds of voices within the theater chattering as if they're waiting to be entertained. Like you performed before, this is reminiscent of your past.
Okay.
And you just kind of stand there stunned as you hear the voices and you feel like the audience start to get more agitated that the show hasn't started yet.
Okay.
What do you do?
Um, so assuming must have been something I must have triggered, and that Memphis has some sort of, I mean, for 1920s, apparently amazing special effects going on. I'm gonna step out of the immediate glare of the spotlight.
Sure. When you do that, you start to hear the audience start to do jeers at you and they're like, "Come on, old man." And they start like you almost like anticipate that they're like throwing stuff at you, but there's no actual objects hitting you. It's just kind of that feeling like you have that instinct to like kind of jump out of the way as they start jeering. And the spotlight shifts from the stage where you are and allows a brief glimpse of the audience. And you see a twisted mob of deformed, toothy fiends before the whole stage jerks underneath your feet, knocking you down to the stage floor.
Okay.
What the? What the what?
When you land, and as you kind of like take a moment to blink and regain your footing,
Yeah.
Ronnie, you've made your way kind of into the kitchen, and I'm a, I'm just gonna kind of assume that you figure out because, well, you heard like a clunk in the theater.
Okay, behind that,
or
wherever that door
behind
is.
door, right?
Yeah, so I'd
And
go towards that.
William, as you get your bearings,
Yeah.
the theater is light again. It's just back to the way it was before you had the audience. All back to normal.
Okay.
Open the door. Dad, are you in here?
Uh,
is there any
y-
poltergeist lighting from under the door?
Nope.
Yes, yes, son.
So some of the props were real. They weren't props. So the swords that they had a couple swords that were collapsible. They were wondering if you could look at some of the other props to see if there's any other real props as opposed to fake, as opposed to real props as opposed to real items. So there were the swords that killed the people were real swords. They were not prop swords.
That
So they thought maybe you could like look at the rope and the other items. I was going to take a look, but I don't remember anything from, I couldn't tell the difference anymore.
yeah, I can take a look at that.
William, make a sanity check.
Crap.
I mean to add a boo and hiss to sound, but
Okay. Success. So you don't lose any sanity points.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
Well-
I'll
you can rationalize what happened in whatever way.
well, I'm almost wondering if um maybe Memphis was working with some sort of, I don't know, almost like maybe some sort of odd hallucinogenic or something, or maybe experimenting with
Yeah.
that somehow, which kind of seems like cheating, but he was very much at the forefront of the game. Maybe he decided that using a little chemistry, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe.
you okay?
Maybe I don't know.
Do I notice that he's acting weird?
Yeah. I mean, you came in there and he was on all fours.
Are you okay? Did you find something on the ground in there, or
Well,
did you fall? Did you fall?
I might have, yes. But
I was feeling kind of weird and wheezy and dizzy when my first guy came in the building myself. So
you know, I experienced I don't know how to describe it.
what if there's a gas leak or something? You read about those in the
I
papers where there's gas leaks and people.
Well, and I wouldn't that maybe is best to explain it as anything other than maybe uh or maybe he's was trying to experiment with some sort of psychedelics with his audience, maybe. Your mother would know more about the medicine side of it, but
Mom! As we start heading in.
What?
Dad
Where
fell
are
down.
you?
Dad fell down.
I'm fine, dear.
But
I'm
when I came
fine.
in, I was really dizzy. I don't know if anybody else was dizzy. I'm kind of curious if there's like a gas leak or something.
Yeah, I was
Take it to
dizzy
the door.
too.
Here, Betsy, are you coming out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the kitchen.
Okay. Betsy, Ronnie, and William make spot checks.
Spot hidden.
Boom, hard success.
Regular success.
And my apologies, you wanted me to as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say take it with disadvantage. Or you
Okay.
don't. Okay. So you failed. Oh no.
So I really failed.
William, you're still kind of shooken up by trying to figure out what just happened. And kind of now that you explained it to Ronnie, yeah, you're just shooken up still. Betsy, have you been to the kitchen before? I don't think so. You came in the back way.
I came in the back,
Yeah,
correct.
so
Okay.
did I.
So, Ronnie, you kind of do a double take at the kitchen counter because you see something that kind of like the kitchen just looked like a normal kitchen before, and there wasn't anything that stood out, and everything was in its home.
Okay.
When you come back, there's a knife on the table that's pointed towards the prop room. It's like one of those big butcher knives.
Okay.
You swear that wasn't there before. Betsy, you haven't been in this room before, but you're a cook. And you know if this magician like hired a cook for coming in, that they would put away all their utensils, not just leave a knife like this hanging out. Even like you would think maybe not the police, but if they're securing the scene, would have put something away. So it's not maybe as alarming, it's just odd and kind of annoying to you.
Yeah, can I roll cooking to like go through the kitchen to see if anything else, like other knives or other dangerous cooking implements, are also missing or not where they should be?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your cooking. Or do you want to treat your husband first?
I already rolled the cooking, so
Yeah.
Well, what is there to
like
treat?
coming
He's just
in and
not
then
feeling
I'm like,
well.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, everything is in its place where it's supposed to be. And you even see like the home for the butcher knife. It's just the empty slot in the butcher block where it normally should be.
I will put it away
Okay.
and then go check on my husband.
Yeah, and William's clearly shaken. He probably doesn't even notice the fact that you were like looking in the kitchen.
Okay.
Luckily, he made a sanity check, though.
Yep.
You have not gone
He did.
insane.
Yeah, I'll pull out my pen light and just kind of like check his eyes and make sure like physically he's like focusing in how he should be.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll first aid.
Hard success.
Yep. Besides, he's perfectly healthy. No, like his light follows, does his eyes do what they're supposed to do when you shine the light onto him. There's no signs of intoxication or like drug use, that he was like drugged or anything. Ronnie mentioned maybe a gas leak. You don't smell any gas or see any like anything that would cognitively impair William. He has kind of, you can see where he fell and like caught his palms of his hands, and they're kind of scraped up a little bit. But yeah, nothing else. He is like emotionally a little bit shooken up, and you kind of know that more because it's your husband.
Yeah. Did Ronnie say that he fell? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after checking his eyes, I'll just kind of like take a look to see if maybe like he sprained an ankle as he fell, or if there's like, so it looks like there's no like head trauma, like to see now if
Right.
there's actually like any other body
Trauma.
trauma.
No, just scrapes.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, do you need an aspirin, dear?
No, I'll be I'll be good for now. Just a little disturbing.
I know what will fix you up, and stand up and look around and like put a kettle on
Uh-huh.
and like start making tea. So like pulling out cups for everyone and
Sure. Do that. Well, while you guys are doing that, I'll go back to the prop room. Melissa and Chris, you finished dusting that one sword for fingerprints. And I'm not gonna make you either of you roll. You do not see any fingerprints on the sword. So,
Okay.
and you are certain that you were 100% thorough in doing the fingerprint dusting.
Well, I don't know. Should I try to stab it into the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take this sword.
Okay.
Nothing happens when I grab it. No weird feeling. Nothing like that.
Nope.
I'm just gonna overhand stab as hard as I can. Same spot on the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Holy shit. I'll spend 1 point of luck to make that a success.
Okay. So you get a Charlie horse. No. It's not your best attack. But you are able to stab the sword into the wall. And the blade doesn't break. It goes through, but it does not go as deep as the other blade marks do.
I feel like we're dealing with an extremely, extremely strong gentleman who was wearing gloves.
Guess so.
Is there anything else that stands out in this room?
You take a look around and there's not really anything else that stands out particularly. You do kind of stop when you look at the rope. And you're not sure if the rope was uncoiled. And
Ronnie was
maybe
looking at it.
yeah, so maybe Ronnie uncoiled it. That's the only thing that you kind of see that's odd.
Can I just compare it to the rope in my pack to be like, is this just normal rope?
Sure.
Cool.
It's probably it is in a sense normal rope. It's not the rope that you would use for climbing gear.
Sure.
Like
but it's like standard rope that you just find wherever.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like this rope is like, because this rope is like purposely made to look like your stereotypical like cartoon rope
Gotcha.
sort of thing, where like your rope is more for actual function.
Yeah.
And like this is functional, but it's made to look like thick yellow rope.
Gotcha.
So that it's probably a little bit thicker than normal rope because it has to be on a stage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your major difference, is that it's thicker, probably actually heavier in a sense, but not necessarily like stronger.
Right. Okay. Well, should we go explore other areas?
Yeah, this seems like a dead end.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I
Ha
will.
ha ha ha.
Indeed.
3 dead ends.
Oh, the door's shut.
There.
Do we think he's more likely to keep secrets like in the attic or in the basement?
A good question.
I'm just moving you guys to the kitchen.
Aren't we
just
supposed
so
to like
you're on
figure
the-
out what happened?
Well, yeah, but like maybe
Like
they had to have broken in for a reason, right?
Yeah, so trying to find the reason or the why.
Might give us something to go on.
How long have we been here?
I would say I'd say for sure an hour because you didn't make that trek into the woods. So it's now going from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, so you still have some time.
So does William not need to look at the other items to make sure that they're all magical or not magical usage?
I mean, I would stay in the room and continue like investigating and looking at all the items and trying to piece together the puzzle if other people wanted to go off and look at other stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna check one of these other rooms.
Okay. So Melissa, would you have stayed in the room the entire time or gathered with everybody else?
I would have stayed.
I would have gone to the other room because that's where we were going. I thought me and Dad were heading into that room.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Yeah. It's worth having somebody who actually knows anything about magic look at the magic stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm listening, like I'm watching to see, and I'll even ask like, so what makes this different than this, and why is this that, and feeling
Yeah.
like some sort of connection, even though he really just still has this little bit of a disdain for the stuff. But in this case, like, might be useful.
Sure.
It would have been useful knowledge all those years ago. Going, this is useless. How is this going to help us? Now it's like, this would have been useful to know.
Yep.
You want me to just do like a stage magic again, or?
Yeah. And you want to look specifically at the items?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey. So is probably takes you about like 15 minutes to do kind of a thorough inspection of the items, but they are like, as far as you're aware, as standard as stage magic props are. Like there's nothing, nobody like switched them out,
Okay.
or I mean if they did, they switched them out with like actual stage props.
Sure.
But you're guessing like the guillotine, maybe it was a fluke, or maybe like the blade wasn't correctly reset. Like you don't think the police don't know how stage props work, so maybe they did something goofy.
Sure. And I guess
But
I'll explain that to everybody and kind of, it's like, all right, I'm gonna teach you all a magic trick, or at least how the secret's done.
sure.
But you have to swear to keep it a secret, and I give a little wink
Yeah.
because I'm kind of going in my normal spiel.
Yeah.
And then I'll show them how the guillotine should work.
Yeah. And like as you show them, like it works fine. Even like Ronnie kind of like holds his breath a little bit as you stick your wrist in there.
Right.
And like do the chop down, but like you do it in the right method where the um little like trap mechanism for the blade like lifts up. So it They look like they're all in working order.
Yeah.
Is there any way I ask? Is there a way to trigger it where it would actually function like it's like the audience believes it would?
For the
You know,
guillotine.
because these guys here, it cut off their hands. So
Yeah, like William, you'd be able to answer that. That yes, it can actually chop, and that's what a lot of stage magicians will do. Is like they'll chop up vegetables first to be like, oh, this is how sharp the blade is. So you just have to know how the mechanism works.
okay.
We'll go. So Betsy's making tea for everybody. We'll go Stanley and then Chris.
So I got that going on, which is nice.
He is nice.
Yeah. So Stanley, you are in the sitting room. So this circular room is a very pleasant space with couches and a fireplace. The sheer area of window space makes it feel like almost like you're sitting outside. The trees and the grounds are carefully arranged to offer a view of downtown Arkham, and it's scenic by both day and night. An internal window lets light in through to the rotunda stair as well.
So I got that going on, which is nice.
Namvin! Welcome on in, Raiders! Hello, Namvin! How are you doing? Welcome on in, guys. If you don't know Namvin was with us recently for Off the Pod. Is a streamer, loves the JRPG games, baseball, and all kinds of awesome, cool stuff. Music as well. Welcome in, Raiders. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you working on? Let's get a little shout out for the Namvin. Welcome on in. We're doing some tabletop role playing tonight. Playing some Final Fantasy 3.
God
Awesome.
dang, Tang Hali.
There's a little clippy clip. Although the
Everybody in
tangent
chat,
dungeon is
if
in the
you're
way.
telling me you didn't look at the bulge this man's got, you're lying to me.
Whoa.
Oh.
And now that I've said it out loud, you're staring at it too. That guy's fucking packing.
Guys, go and check out Namvin. Welcome on in. Hello. Hello, Aaron Dariel. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you guys don't know, I am Nick. I'm the host of Epic Realms. We do tabletop role-playing every Wednesday night. Monday is our talk show night. Of course, we had Namvin on not too long ago for Off the Pod. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays is video game nights. Welcome on in. We're doing the Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing tonight. And, of course, Namvin is part of that Black Collar Collective. He'll be joining us for that charity raid train event that takes place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It kicks off in the evening at like 5-ish, I think 5 or 6 p.m. Central. Namvin is going to be the first official streamer after Drag Vega to do his first full run. So he'll be joining us on doing that on Friday. So you can check that out as well. And then eventually on Saturday, I'll be streaming the history of D&D with D&D historian and New York Times bestselling author Michael Whitworth. So that's going to be happening coming up on Saturday as part of that big raid train event. So stick around. Make sure to go and give Namvin a follow so you can go and check out his portion of it, because you'll get that go live notification. You'll get in right at the beginning of that raid train. So you can get in and stick around for the entire event. So again, we'll do an official shout out here. We'll do one of these if I can. We'll do one of these. So you get the little heart up there, and you can click the little heart in the corner, and you can give Namvin a follow. So even if you like any kind of retro game, go and check him out. He's really fun, really interesting. Got a lot of cool stuff over there. So go check it out. With that being said, I'm going to let Rachel continue the thing. Thank you so much for the raid, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. So yeah,
It says that Stanley craves action, so he's really not very patient at all. I think he comes into this room, he sees it's all nice, and he's starting to get frustrated that they're running into a wall. So he's going around with his camera and he's just like, "Is there a presence in this room? Hello?
Hello?
Knock twice if you can hear me."
Okay. So
Ghost huntering it.
yeah, you have your little travel show, ghost hunter moment. As you're taking pictures and you're looking around the room and you kind of turn and you get to where the internal window is, you see a shape, or at least what you think is a shape, go past the window up the stairs.
Oh, I'm gonna try to take a picture of that.
Okay. Roll. You take a picture. Like roll your
Well,
photography if you want.
Well, I'm gonna try to catch it.
Okay.
Jesus. My bad luck.
Hey.
I was gonna say your camera explodes due to bad luck.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting to be told when my bad luck hits. So
Yeah, I'm saving it.
I know. I've got.
I thought it was just on our next roll.
Oh, I heard
No,
Rachel
it's
say that
just-
she was holding on to it.
Yeah, I'm holding on to him.
Oh, okay. Well, I failed that on the first roll anyways.
Yeah. So, I mean, you take the picture. You don't know if you're going to catch it as it develops, but you could. I mean, you're not 100% sure. Maybe it was one of your other fellow investigators going up the stairs. You could try to follow it up.
There's a window here that let me see that.
Yeah, like it looked like somebody was walking up the stairs.
Yeah, like I said, Stanley craves action, so he is going out and he's following up there.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll see him in the kitchen, like hurriedly running through the rotunda and going up the stairs.
Yep.
Sprinting up the stairs.
So as that's happening, Chris, where are you going to explore?
I mean, Chris is going to go to the basement because when you explore caves and geology and whatever, you kind of want to see what the basement looks like, just
what the basement is.
Just in case it's got a cave.
Sure. So the entrance to the basement is
That
actually
has
over
happened
here.
before, also.
Exactly.
So this door over here leads to the basement.
Okay.
So I'll just move you because it goes down and then the basement is here. Are you letting anyone know that you're going to the basement?
Betsy knows.
Nope. If somebody
Okay.
doesn't see me walk down there, I am not announcing it.
Okay. Let me.
Which could end
Basement.
up terrible.
All right. So the basement, like all basements, is a chilly, dark space and rather empty. There are kitchen supplies, chopped firewood can be found near the access stairs, and there's numerous sacks that are stored in the corner.
Okay.
These little eyeballs on the screen.
Do you want to investigate the sacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heads.
Go ahead and make a luck roll.
Oh no. I failed my lot.
Okay, so you walk over to the stack of sacks, and you start kind of shifting them around. You open it up, and you see that the sacks are actually food storage of like potatoes and other grains as well, like flour and stuff. And as you're going through them, you kind of see movement, and you kind of peer over one of the stacks, and skittering out and up and over really quick is a rat that bites your hand.
Ouch.
Go ahead and make a con roll. Okay.
Hard success.
We did it.
Oh, what the heck?
Thank you, Zion, for believing in Joe Hendry. Navin gets that one too. Anybody who watched WrestleMania, the surprise appearance.
I think Chris has caught the David curse.
Yep.
I think it might be, but I did have hard success on my constitution. So
Yep. So that's good. That means that the rat wasn't carrying any sort of
I didn't catch the
disease.
plague.
Yeah, basically. So, you do take a point of damage from the bite. And then the rat like skitters off and goes off into the darkness of another dark corner of the basement.
I'm gonna put on my helmet lamp just so I can make sure it's less dark down here.
Sounds good. And as you put that on, you see that there's more rats in the basement now that you're down here and you've made movement that skitter over to the northeast corner into like a little hole that they made. So you're thinking maybe nobody comes down here that often, or the groundskeeper might not be the best at his job.
Maybe. Can I try a spot hidden just to see if I see anything interesting in this area before I go back upstairs?
Yeah.
Cool. Nope.
Nope. Yeah, so when you look down here, there's some really old props, like magic props, like from like they're not in any sort of the Egyptian style. Like there's some old trick canes, an escape trunk, a small base, a hat box. They're pretty cheap, and some of them are even rotting in pieces. As you're down there, like you're used to basements and underground being like very chilly and being very cool. It suddenly starts to feel like hot. And you almost wonder like if it's you feeling hot or the air feeling hot. Like if you're getting like if maybe that bite from the rat like is inducing some sort of sickness. And you just feel like this wave of hot air blast, and you realize that it's not coming from you, it's an external blast of hot air, almost like a hot breeze from the desert. And it's so strong that you lose your footing. Go ahead and make a dex roll.
Wow. Hard success.
Hard success. So you're able to kind of like, from your time of spelunking, like brace yourself as this hot breath just hits you, and it feels hot and it feels wet and it feels just like it's like something's breathing down your neck, and it's like this oppressing force, and you're in the basement and it's just lingering and just more and more oppressive as something's hovering above you, and it's breathing in and it's breathing out.
Oh God.
And it's breathing in and it's breathing out. And then with a final sigh, it leaves. Go ahead and make a sanity roll.
Do I have a chance to try to see it at all?
You look around and there's nothing.
The fuck.
You
Okay.
you just feel it.
I failed my sanity. I don't remember if that's good or not. A 98.
For this, yeah. It's not good, but it's not the worst because you're not you lose 2 sanity points.
Okay.
So just
can do that.
so you don't go into a bout of madness.
That's
but
good.
you are shaken. And even though the breathing has stopped now, you don't want to be here anymore. And start running up the stairs.
I didn't mean to click that.
okay.
Okay, yeah, I definitely run back upstairs.
And you can record this on your sheet as I would just do Memphis house hot breath for now.
Hot breath summer.
Hot breath summer.
Got it.
Thank you for that follow. And Ariel, welcome in.
So Betsy, I'm gonna move you, Chris. As you're wrapping up tea in the kitchen, you hear Chris running up the stairs from the basement.
Just kind of like poke my head around the corner. Is everything okay, dear?
Yeah, I just there were rats. That's all.
Oh,
I guess it startled me more than I expected it to. But no, I'm fine.
did you know the rats caused the Black Plague?
I did, in fact, know that. I got bit by one, so maybe you should take a look at it.
Oh, sit down, sit down. And I'll like pull a chair out from the table.
Chris
And I'll like
sits.
pour some water into like a bowl and get like a towel to like clean and disinfect the wound.
Sounds good.
Great.
You don't need the roll first aid for this because she made the con check.
Okay.
But you do disinfect it, and because you are trained, I don't see how anyway you would fumble and make it worse. You do, unless you do notice, you kind of are just reminded too that she does have shards of glass in her arm potentially.
While I have her, like I'm gonna have to like check the bite, so I might as well like
Yeah.
get the glass shards out while I'm looking.
Then I'll have you roll a first aid for that. We're doing
Okay.
more than just the bite.
That works. I just looking to see if there's anything else that I have that could, help, but there is not. Let's see.
Hey.
Yeah, success.
All right. So you're able to convince Chris to like sit down and like you undo her work a little bit and you start pulling out some of the glass. And I would just say kind of after that experience, Chris, you're okay with just sitting in the kitchen and hanging out and maybe sipping some tea while somebody else takes care of you for a minute.
Yep, she needs a moment to collect herself. And
Yeah.
This seems like the best place.
Yeah. Stanley's going up the stairs. I would say William, like, unless you want to spend more time showing Ronnie and Melissa the magic trick stuff, you've probably already done your examination. In the 15 minutes, but you could spend more time showing Ronnie and Melissa like how the guillotine operates so that if Ronnie and Melissa wanted to put more points put points or put more points into stagecraft magic that they could.
Okay.
Or you can explore the house.
Or sorry, yes, I was muted. I apologize. Yeah, I can show him.
So I'm going to cut back over to Stanley.
So that'll give us a check mark essentially.
Yeah, and it'll essentially give you, there's rules for how you can train up skills versus having to succeed at them in the game.
Oh.
Oh, nice. So because he's teaching them, it's like almost like a success for them.
Basically.
So do we mark
then
it separately somehow?
Yeah, I would mark it just in your notes, like stage magic training.
Okay.
Because essentially outside a game, we'll roll, it's either a die 10 or a die 6 of like that many skill ranks that you get to add
Okay.
to your skill.
Nice.
Yeah. So Stanley, you are going up the rotunda. As you go up the rotunda, kind of as I stated before, you see in the first level more family pictures. And you even see like a picture of Harold, Ingrid, and Memphis. And then as you're going up, you see more posters of Memphis the Great with his different assistants. You do see one picture, the most recent poster dated in 1923, depicts Memphis with Josephine Lynch, or who you would assume to be Josephine Lynch, because I don't think you actually met her at the funeral.
I didn't meet her, but I saw her.
Yeah. So, you do see as you're going up that there's a small door set into the stairwell just above the second floor. It's kind of designed to fit into the decor, but it's not something where you need to roll like a spot hidden. It's
there is a
just kind
Tangia
of
boss up, FYI, for everyone.
get in on that.
Well, I was following somebody up here, so I'm looking for that.
So ignoring the door and continuing up, you get to the second floor.
Wait, do I see? I just saw them go like a shadow go up. Do I see any signs of somebody moving up here or here? Any signs of footsteps or?
Nope, you don't. Like even like you roll a check, you roll a hard success, and there's no obvious signs of movement. Or like any like footsteps up here or any walking.
Ah. Okay. Well, then I'm guessing I can see into this room going up the stairs?
Or
is there a door?
There's a door. But I mean, you could try the door.
Sure.
So you are actually right here. And it's, let's see, I want to make sure. It is not locked.
Maybe this person could have gone into this room and shut the door.
Okay, let's see. So this room, it looks like if you're able to open the door, and I'm assuming you go in.
Sure. I was more opening it and looking in.
Looking in. Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to find somebody, so
Right.
unless he
So
sees something really weird in this room, he's looking for a person.
So you look in this room and it's looks like you wouldn't call it a library per se, but there is like there are bookshelves in here and it looks more like an accounting area with ledgers, or what you would assume be an accounting area. And just like paperwork, there's a desk. There is an item that stands out that you can see, and that's a hamper-sized cabinet. And it's very lavishly decorated in like an Asian style, and it looks very expensive.
Big enough for somebody to fit in?
Potentially, if they were able to quickly squeeze in there, but you'd have to
Okay, I'll
take a
go
closer
in.
look. Okay. So you go in and you get closer to the cabinet. It's smaller than you are, so they'd have to be a smaller size person.
Yeah.
But kind of as you're looking at the cabinet, it doesn't have like an obvious handle, or it has what kind of looks like a lid, but you try to like press it up and it's locked. And
Oh,
then you look on the face of it. What knowledges do you have?
knowledge?
Yeah.
What do you mean knowledge?
Like, do you have
I have archaeology.
yeah, roll in archaeology. That's what I was trying to say. Or praise.
All right, here we go. That's a failure.
So it's a little bit out of your depth, but it looks really old, and it looks like it's been like there's some dings and scrapes in it, even though it does look expensive. The thing that stands out to you is that, excuse me, the front pieces of it move.
Like a
And
puzzle box, but cabinet sized?
yeah,
Okay.
but you might need some help trying to, because you didn't make the roll, trying to figure out exactly what it is.
I guess I'll shout down the stairs.
Okay.
Hey guys, I think I found something up here.
And the rest of you hear that.
Does it look like anyone from the prop room is starting to walk to like investigate?
I would.
Let's start heading out. Yeah.
I'm gonna hand everyone a cup of tea.
Okay.
I'll probably take the tea because I've been feeling weird. Might help.
Sure.
And if it doesn't, then I'll start looking for some liquor afterwards.
Yeah, there you go. So there's only one real major staircase, and I'm kind of assuming you guys are all following Stanley's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go up the stairs and you see the same thing that I described, but Stanley already has the door open. I don't know. I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm just gonna move all of you to this map. I'm assuming everybody like Betsy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but you do see the cabinet that I described. And
I
then
was
the ledgers.
following somebody. I saw somebody go up the stairs. And I was following them, but I couldn't find them. But I found this weird cabinet.
And if anybody has archaeology or appraise, you can go ahead and roll it.
Have to roll a 1 to succeed, but I might as well try.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable.
Holy shit.
Mark it.
I couldn't even get a 55 on that.
All right. Chris, you know, and I'm probably going to butcher the name because I think you're the only one that made the roll. You know that this is an 18th century puzzle box cabinet from Bhutan, where Memphis traveled.
I mean, I share that, but I say I don't know how I know this.
Yeah.
But I know it with certain.
Yeah, there's no obvious lid, but you do know that the opening mechanism is a puzzle. And with that, so, all right. Can everybody see a chest here?
Just where?
Oh, wait, hang on. I didn't actually move you guys. I just moved me.
It is a black
It is
screen.
black.
Screen.
So you might need to zoom in or out.
I'm zoomed all the way out.
I don't
It's-
see anything.
Yeah.
It's completely dark.
We might have to move a token onto the screen.
Yeah, try that.
Nope.
No.
Shoot, we tested this before.
I do not know.
Let me see if I move it. You guys moved a token?
Later.
Yeah, it might be 5 hours later.
Oh, I've got like they activated it, so like in the Tangia dungeon or in the Tangia, like because before I couldn't use tokens on anything, vouchers on my own stream. Well, they activated it so you can now. So I've got like 57 vouchers.
Jeez. I'm just wondering if I need to, because I moved all of you here. Oh, nope.
Check dynamic lighting on the page settings.
The vision on token drop, if I turn that on. Okay, now try doing a token.
I mean, I don't think I have a token with vision because that's just not something we've been doing.
I know, but I like when I had you look at this before, you were able to see the chest, right?
Yeah.
Epic
So did
Realms
you like
asked
turn
me,
dynamic lighting
can you keep us
on?
entertained to buy time for our game master? Right? So you want entertainment? Do you? It's like asking for a bloody souffle when you've only got eggs and a whisk. First,
All right.
a generous helping of witty banter, whisked until light and frothy. Then a dash of improvised chaos
You
folded
help.
in gently. Finally served with a garnish of mild incredulity and a healthy dose of sarcasm. It's like dealing with an idiot sandwich.
Wow, Gordon Ramsay.
Let's see. Yeah, I turned off dynamic lighting.
I can see it now.
Oh, you can?
Oh, maybe refresh.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's see if I'm on the
I'm
token.
zoomed all the way out.
Oh,
and
okay.
went
I
to
see it
the
now.
image.
Yeah.
There we go. Ah, refreshed. We're good.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this isn't what the puzzle box looks like, but the module gave me a role for you guys to do, and I thought it'd be more fun if I found an actual puzzle.
Okay.
That's cool.
Oh.
Let's see. So we'll see how far we get, but I can also so the puzzle comes with a deck, And basically kind of to give you guys some instructions how I have this set up. So let's see, let me go my ping tool. So you see how this box here is set up?
Mm-hmm.
So I flagged each of these pieces with different colors. So I set up 3 groups. And each group contains 2 players. So 2 players are able to move the same token. So the puzzle pieces should line up, not obviously in this exact order, but like how this is. And then as I give you pieces, this completed puzzle repeats here, but all the rest of the pieces are different. And for the pieces that are laid out here, they are the spot where they're supposed to be. So I kind of did that as a template to kind of give you an idea of how the pieces work.
So we've got to do Tetris, but in each of the boxes as you give us pieces.
Yeah, and if it gets too difficult, there's I have the key, so we can do rolls and I can give you hints. So for the pieces, how I was going to do this. So this box right here is completed, but the rest of them need to be completed.
Are these pieces that are sitting around the office that we see, or?
They're basically how it's written is they're in the cabinet, but you just have to arrange them.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to try to do is I have a puzzle piece deck, and I'm going to try to deal up the cards. Some of the pieces are duplicate, so there's not a deck piece for every one. So let's just try. I'm going to deal out. Well, let's just keep it simple. I'm going to just drag some pieces onto here. So can you see that one?
Yep.
Yes.
And that one.
Yep.
So
the
who is
first
blue with me?
Not me.
Oh, we
I'm
can
red.
only use our colors?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
you
that's
can't
part-
move the other ones.
So that's part of the puzzle is
I
figuring out which colors you guys are.
So I'm green.
think I'm blue.
Also green.
And does it matter which square we put them in?
Not necessarily, as long as the puzzle pieces fit. So for these ones that already started, I will say for the ones that already started, they are in the spot where they're supposed to be.
Right.
And they are the sides that they're supposed to be. There shouldn't be any resizing or anything. Oh wow, you guys are completing this fast. I should have made it harder.
Well, we're completing it fast, but unless we're going past 10, we've only got 10 minutes left.
Right.
Whoever has green dot.
Yeah.
Over here. Yep.
I'm assuming we can't row. Oh, hey, hold on. Whoever's red dot. No, put that back. Blue, put that back.
Oh, this one right here?
Put that one. Yep. And then
Blue needs to move
needs to
over
move
one.
over. There you go.
There you go. That doesn't work though.
Oh,
Suppose we have a
bring
zigzag.
blue, bring that bottom left piece into the dead center.
Oh yeah.
Oops. Gotcha.
The upper,
Oh.
this one up here. Oh my god, it doesn't ping. The upper left, there's a green one hovering above. That one should fit right down in there.
Right down.
We got like the backwards
This
7.
this one right here.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then we still, because we're not supposed to rotate these, right?
There's a blue guy over
Correct.
here that'll fit. I can't ping. How do I ping?
Oh, there we go.
You click and hold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't
There
working.
we go.
Okay, so this guy's probably still going down there somewhere. The green can go here.
There we go.
We shift this blue one up. Can that red one?
Yeah. Oh, and the green one will fit right here.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter
But
because
we have to get.
we've still got one piece and it doesn't fit in the one spot.
Well, let's.
Well, if we move that red one up.
Oh yeah. Just like that. There we go.
We did it.
Yeah, good job, guys. That was awesome.
Go team puzzle.
That was cool.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Very cool.
Yeah, I thought that'd be more fun to do than a roll.
That was
Way
really
more.
fun and really
That
cool.
was super good.
All right. So we'll end it on, so the puzzle box opens up. And inside the box
I'm gonna do that again.
lies a velvet tray holding 7 spears about the size of oranges. Their surfaces have a milky, shifting consistency. And they have like a faint glow to them. They kind of look like they're glowing, but you don't really know what the source is. And let me see how many it says. There's 7 spears in total.
Like milky orbs, like big pearls.
Yeah, they're not, they're like glass on the outside and they kind of look like pearls, but they're more like pearls kind of gleam like in the light.
Mm-hmm.
These ones kind of have like that shine just in its material, if that makes sense. So you kind of like those, oh, I don't know what it's called, like it's white, but it kind of has like that, you know, like that color of that card where like when it hits the light, it kind of turns a little rainbowy.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of like
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they potentially could be valuable, but like Chris, you're a geologist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't like a material or a stone you've ever seen before.
Can I roll a geology to see if I've at least heard of it?
I
mean, I'm assuming I haven't, but like.
Yeah. Like you roll, I mean, you can roll it to get like the check mark to see, but essentially like even if you roll a critical success, you've never heard of this.
I won't bother rolling then. If it's something that I can't know, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be something you potentially would like to study. and see.
For sure.
Because I mean, the box itself is old. This might be just as old. They do seem a little bit fragile.
I will very, very carefully take one out.
Okay.
Just one.
Just one orb.
Just one.
And as all of you guys are in here looking at the puzzle box and looking at the orb, in the hallway, you hear the sound of either a picture or one of the posters coming off the wall, or just like a sound of a crash tumbling down the stairs. And with that, I think that's a good spot to end the game for next time.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. All right.
Paranormal activity.
That is all I require.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to the raid from Namvin. Much appreciate Namvin again. We're going to be doing that big celebration charity event. I don't know why I said celebration. That big charity event this weekend. That'll be Friday night all the way through Saturday, all day Saturday, and then through till Sunday morning. So all kinds of stuff going on. Lots of different events, lots of games, interviews, talk shows, special events, people doing silly things. I know Miso Thorny said that they were going to be having a egg painting contest. And then when you do redeems, they take the other person's egg and smash it over the other one's head. And then at the end of the stream, whatever eggs remain get voted on for who had the best eggs. So kind of a fun little project. So everybody's doing little things to raise funds. I know that they're doing a giveaway. Then at the end of the entire raid train, they're doing giveaways at on Drag Vegas channel on Sunday for the very last event. So if anybody wants any of the times or anything for that, please let me know. I can get you all of the times. I might paste them in my Discord as well. So big event, big series of events. I will be going live at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 Eastern, with Michael Whitwer for the history of D&D. Of course, that is going to be interactive. You guys can come and ask questions and 10 cents, put your 10 cents in on things and say things or look things up or fact check or whatever you want to do to be part of it. So it's just all about D&D and kind of walking through some of the history of it and the things that have happened and, whatever we happen to do. It's going to be kind of off the cuff. So with that being said, guys, and speaking of D&D and speaking of everything, someone we haven't rated in a while is our friend. He is part of a group that's he's like the miniature painter for the Bad Wolf Adventure Studios, doing a lot of stuff for them. So we're going to go on a raid on over to Midwest Miniature Guy. He is one of our friends. All of us know him. He has done miniatures for pretty much all of us. I don't know if there's any of us that don't have a mini that he has done. So he is amazing. He's awesome. He's great. So come along with us to the one, the only, the Midwest Miniature Guy, and stay for the fun and enjoy yourselves. I will be back tomorrow with some Palea, doing Palea things. So you can come and join me for that at noon Central. And Friday, I'm gonna try. There's a new game I found. Somebody showed it to me. It's a it's kind of the combat-y, almost combat-y. I don't want to say Elden Ring combat, but it's kind of like that kind of combat. But it's dark and darker, where you're collecting stuff and you have to escape. And loot the stuff. So it's I don't know. It's weird. I did the demo for it, or I did the first thing where it kind of shows you what the controls are. And so we'll maybe play some of that on Friday or some dark and darker.
Does it have a story?
Whatever. There is no story. It's just like dark and darker, where it's like a challenge, a PvP, PvE sort of thing. So there is no world. I mean, I guess there might be. I don't really know, but it's more like dark
just
and
like
darker.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's just like Elden Ring, only you have something other than just walking. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going there now. We're not going to go on that. we're gonna raid on out because we've just got a few seconds left. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to all the players. Thank you, Rachel, for game mastering. And god dang, that was a cool puzzle. FYI, that was one of the coolest things I've seen
cool.
and or done through World 20. So thank you guys so much for being here. Take care and good night.